Hello, learners. Welcome back to the A1 Roadmap Vocabulary Series, and this is part 2. In the previous part 1, we learned everyday greetings and common English expressions. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to introduce yourself in English. But that's not at all. We will also learn many useful phrases and expressions that native speakers use in everyday conversations. So let's quickly see what we are going to cover in this lesson. First, we will learn how to introduce yourself. What phrases can you use to tell someone your name? In your language, in your native language, you could be using anything, any phrase to start a conversation or to introduce yourself to someone. Likewise, English also has its several natural ways to introduce yourself, and we are going to learn all of them. After that, we will learn how to ask someone's name. Then, once someone tells you their name, what should you say next? We will cover the most common and natural responses used in English conversations. Next, we will learn how to ask and answer questions about where someone is from, their nationality, age, job or profession, studies, languages they speak, hobbies and interests, basic personal information. And finally, we will learn how to end a conversation politely using natural English expressions. By the end of this lesson, you will know all the essential A1 expressions you need to introduce yourself and have a simple conversation in English. We'll start with the basics, and as the series progresses, we will gradually move towards more advanced English. And if you're interested also in learning advanced vocabulary, I'll be uploading such videos where I will explain advanced words in complete detail from pronunciation to real life usage. But for now, if you're following this A1 roadmap, I recommend completing this series first and then moving on to the advanced vocabulary lessons. So, without wasting any more time, let's get started. Let's begin with the first topic: how to introduce yourself in English. When you meet someone for the first time, there are several natural ways to introduce yourself. The most common one is "Hi, I am," or "Hello, I am." For example, "Hi, I'm Rahul." "Hello, I'm Emma." Now, many learners get confused between hi and hello. Actually, both are correct and both are commonly used. The only difference is that hi sounds a little more casual, while hello sounds slightly more polite. That's why you will usually hear hi among friends, classmates, or people of the same age. Whereas hello is more common when you are meeting someone for the first time or speaking to a teacher, an elder, or in a professional situation. But remember, this is not a strict rule. In most situations, you can use either one. Now let's talk about I am. I am is simply the short form or contraction of I am. So I am Rahul and I'm Rahul mean exactly the same thing in everyday English. Yes, in everyday English, native speakers usually prefer I am contraction form of I am because it sounds more natural. Don't worry, we'll learn more about contractions later in this video. And now here's one point to note. You can simply say I am, but this is slightly more formal than I am, and it's often used in presentations or written English. Another common way to introduce yourself is my name is. My name is Emma. Now, you will often hear it in interviews, schools, presentations, meetings, or whenever you want to sound a little more polite. Next comes you can call me. We use this when we want people to use our nickname or shorter version of our name, like you are preferring your nickname to someone. For example, my name is Abhishek, but you can call me Abhi, or you can call me Sam. Now let's take a look at more formal expression. Let me introduce myself. This is commonly used in interviews, seminars, presentations, or public speaking. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tara. Let me introduce myself. I am an English teacher. Notice that let me introduce myself already starts your introduction. So don't say, hi, let me introduce myself. Simply say, let me introduce myself. An even more formal expression is, I would like to introduce myself. This is often used in conferences, professional meetings, or official introductions. For instance, I would like to introduce myself. My name is David. I would like to introduce myself. I am the new manager. And again, don't add hi or hello before it. Finally, let's understand this is. Now, most of the time, this is used to introduce another person, not yourself. For example, this is my friend Rahul. This is my sister. This is our teacher. However, there is one exception. On phone calls or in online meetings, you can use this is to introduce yourself. Like, hello, this is Rahul speaking. Hi, this is Emma from ABC Company. But in face to face conversations, we usually don't say, this is Emma. Instead, we simply say, I am Emma or my name is Emma. Quick revision: the most common ways to introduce yourself are hi, I am, hello, I am, my name is, I am, you can call me, let me introduce myself, I would like to introduce myself, this is. Now that you know how to start an introduction naturally, let's move on to the next topic. Before we move ahead, let's learn about contractions. By the way, why are we learning this? Because if you want to sound naturally fluent in English, you need to start using contractions. What exactly is a contraction? It's simple. A contraction is when we smash two separate words, two separate English words, together to make one shorter word. We drop a couple of letters and in their place, we put a small punctuation mark, and that is called apostrophe. But coding them into your brain is all about pronunciation. Let's master them right now. First part, the vowel shifters. First up, the R contractions. They completely change the vowel sounds. Don't say you are, say your. It rhymes with tour. You are happy, your, tour. Don't say we are, say we're. It rhymes with we're. We are going. Don't say they are, say there. It rhymes with here. They're playing outside. Second part, the soft Z sound. Next, the S contractions. For he and she, that S actually sounds like a Z. He is becomes he's, it rhymes with freeze. He is becomes he's, it rhymes with freeze. She is becomes she's. It rhymes with cheese. But watch out for its. That one keeps a short S sound like bits. It bits its, not ids. Third part, the L and D shortcuts. Now for the future and the past, for will, just add an L sound. I will becomes I'll. You will becomes you'll. For would or had, just drop a quick D sound at the end. I would, I'd. You would, you'd. He would, he'd. Part 4, the tricky negatives. Finally, the negatives. The biggest mistake is forgetting the final T sound or changing the vowel completely. Do not becomes don't. Long O sound. Will not turns into won't. It completely changes. Rhymes with don't. And for should not, smash it together and drop the O entirely. Shouldn't. Shouldn't. Now that we've learned how to introduce ourselves, let's learn how to ask someone their name. The first and most common expression is, what's your name? First of all, pay attention to the pronunciation. It is not what is your name. We usually combine what and is, and it becomes what's. It is not what's, it's what's. What's your name? Now, this is the most common expression and can be used in everyday conversations with friends, classmates, colleagues, or even when you're meeting someone for the first time. The second expression is, may I know your name? This is more polite than what's your name. You can use it while talking to teachers, elders, customers, strangers, or in any situation where you want to sound respectful. For example, good morning, may I know your name? The third expression is, could you tell me your name? This is one of the most polite ways to ask someone's name. Could you tell me your name? It's commonly used in interviews, professional meetings, customer service, or whenever you want to sound very polite. For example, excuse me, could you tell me your name, please? Next comes, what should I call you? Notice that you are not asking for the person's actual name. You are asking what name they prefer you to use. This is useful if someone has a long name or prefers a nickname. For example, my name is Abhishek. What should I call you? You can call me Abhi. The fifth expression is, may I have your name? You will hear this very often in service situations such as hotels, hospitals, airports, offices, or reception desks. May I have your name, please? Next is, can I have your name? It has almost the same meaning as may I have your name, but it's a little less formal and sounds more casual. You will often hear it in shops, cafes, offices, or on phone calls. Can I have your name, please? The seventh expression is, who am I speaking to? Remember this one? It's mainly used on phone calls when you don't know who is speaking. Hello, who am I speaking to? Don't say who am I talking to in formal situations. Who am I speaking to sounds much more natural and polite. Next is, could I get your name? Could I get your name? This is another polite and natural expression. It is commonly used in customer service, networking events, and professional conversations. Could I get your name, please? Finally, we have, may I ask your name? This is also a very polite expression. You can use it when meeting someone for the first time or in formal conversations. Quick revision. If you want to ask someone's name, you can use, what's your name? May I know your name? Could you tell me your name? What should I call you? May I have your name? Can I have your name? Who am I speaking to? On phone calls, Liz. Could I get your name? May I have your name? May I ask your name? Now that we have learned how to ask someone's name, the next question is, what should you say after someone tells you their name? Imagine this conversation. Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, I'm Rahul. Now, you obviously won't say silent after hearing Rahul's name. The most natural response is, nice to meet you. Then Rahul replies, nice to meet you too. Now, this is the most common conversation you will hear in English. But remember that nice to meet you is not the only expression. There are many other natural ways to say the same thing. Like, nice to meet you itself. It's nice to meet you. Good to meet you. Glad to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. All these expressions mean almost the same thing. The only difference is the speaker's personal preference. Okay, suppose you are in more formal situation. So, like you're attending an interview, a seminar, or meeting someone professionally. So, instead of saying nice to meet you, you can say it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm pleased to meet you. Delighted to meet you. And it's an honor to meet you. Now, it's an honor to meet you is used in very special situations like meeting a famous person, a respected professor, or a chief guest. So, this expression is quite rare. You don't need to use it very often. Here's a one important difference. Many beginners confuse these two expressions, nice to meet you and nice meeting you. Remember, nice to meet you is used when you are meeting someone for the first time. But nice meeting you is usually used at the end of the conversation when you are about to leave. For example, it was really nice talking to you. Nice meeting you. See you again. So don't say nice meeting you at the beginning of a conversation. Here's a quick summary. Whenever someone introduces themselves, simply respond with nice to meet you, pleased to meet you, it's a pleasure to meet you, glad to meet you, good to meet you. And in very formal situations, you can say delighted to meet you, I am pleased to meet you, it's a pleasure to meet you. And very rare, but still you can use it. It's an honor to meet you. Okay, one question. Many beginners ask if I introduce myself first, then who says nice to meet you? The answer is it depends on how the conversation goes. Let's look at a few situations. Situation 1. Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, I'm Rahul. Sarah says, "Nice to meet you." Rahul responds, "Nice to meet you too." This is the most common conversation you will hear. After both people introduce themselves, either person can say, "Nice to meet you." The other person simply replies, "Nice to meet you too." Situation 2. Sometimes the other person says it first. "Hi, I'm Sarah." "Nice to meet you, Sarah." "I'm Rahul." "Nice to meet you too." This is also perfectly natural. So don't think that only one person is supposed to say "nice to meet you." Either speaker can say it first. You can say like, "Hi, I'm Sarah, nice to meet you." Rahul responds, "Nice to meet you too, Sarah. I am Rahul." Okay. Situation 3. Now suppose you have introduced yourself, but the other person hasn't told you their name. "Hi, I'm Sarah." Rahul says, "Nice to meet you." Now, don't immediately ask, "What's your name?" First, respond to what they said. "Nice to meet you too. What's your name?" "I'm Rahul." This sounds much more natural than skipping their sentence and asking your question directly. Phone conversations. Let's look at a slightly different situation. Suppose someone calls you, but you don't know who is speaking. In that case, instead of asking, "What's your name?" we usually ask, "Who am I speaking to?" "Hello, who am I speaking to?" This expression is polite and is commonly used in customer service, business calls, offices, and other professional situations. There's also another expression, "Who am I talking to?" Who am I talking to? It has the same meaning, but it sounds more casual. You will usually hear it among friends, family members, or in informal phone conversations. "Hi, sorry, who am I talking to?" So remember the conversation flow. Quick summary: greeting, "Hi, hello," then introduction, "I am" or "my name is." "Nice to meet you," or any expressions that I just taught you, like "pleased to meet you," "pleasure to meet you." Then reply, "Nice to meet you too," and then continue the conversation. So, "who am I speaking to" is polite and professional, whereas "who am I talking to" is casual and informal. So, once you understand this flow, your introductions will sound much more natural and you will know exactly what to say next instead of getting stuck after introducing yourself. Let's proceed to some other expressions. What are we going to learn next? First, asking where someone is from. We use these questions to ask about a person's country or city of origin, the place they come from. Second, talking about where you live. We use these expressions to talk about the place where we live now, the place where you are living now. Third, talking about your hometown. A hometown is the town or city where you grew up or spent most of your childhood. Fourth, talking about your birthplace. Now, birthplace means the place where you were born. Fifth, asking about nationality. Nationality tells us which country a person belongs to. So, let's begin. Asking where someone is from. Here are some basic expressions. Where are you from? Where do you come from? Which country are you from? Which city are you from? Some polite expressions. May I ask where you are from? Can I ask where you are from? Could you tell me where you are from? How to answer those questions. Now, here is how you respond. "I am from India." "I come from India." "I am originally from India." "I was born in India." If you want to mention the city of the person, or if the person is asking you about your city, then you say, "I am from Delhi." "I come from Mumbai." "I am originally from Jaipur." Talking about where you live. How to ask? Where do you live? Which city do you live in? Do you live in Delhi? Where are you living now? Answers: I live in Delhi. I live in India, Mumbai. I currently live in Delhi. I live with my family. Talking about your hometown. What's your hometown? Where's your hometown? Which city is your hometown? How to respond? My hometown is Jaipur. My hometown is Lucknow. I grew up in Delhi. Talking about birthplace. Where were you born? I was born in Delhi. Or I was born in India. Asking about nationality. What's your nationality? Are you Indian? Which nationality I'm you? Are you, sorry. Which nationality are you? How to respond? I am Indian. I am American. I am British. I am Australian. Asking someone's age. Some basic expressions. How old are you? What's your age? Some polite expressions also. May I ask how old you are? Can I ask how old you are? Would you mind telling me your age? Could you tell me how old you are? How to respond? Some basic ways. I'm 18 years old. I'm 20 years old. I am then your age. I'm 18. I am 20. Some natural ways like I just turned 18. I turned 21 last month. I'll be 25 next year. Talking about someone else's age. He is 10 years old. She is 15 years old. My brother is 25. My sister is 18. Questions like how old is he? How old is she? How old is your brother? How old is your sister? Now, talking about age groups. I am a teenager. I am an adult. I'm a child. He's a senior citizen. She's elderly. Talking about life stage. I am in my teens. I am in my 20s. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. Questions like which age group are you in? Birthday and age. Questions. When is your birthday? When were you born? What year were you born? My birthday is on May 10. I was born in 2005. I was born on July 15th, 2000. Comparing ages. I am older than my brother. I am younger than my sister. He's 2 years older than me. She's 3 years younger than me. We are the same age. Questions like who is older? Who is younger? Are you the same age? Now let's understand life stages. What are life stages? Life stages are the different periods of a person's life as they grow older. As we grow, we go through different stages like baby, then child becomes a teenager, teenager becomes an adult becomes a middle aged person, then a middle aged person becomes a senior citizen or elderly person. Let's see a few examples. He is a child. She is a teenager. I am an adult. My grandfather is a senior citizen. Talking about age groups. What are age groups? Age groups tells us which age range a person belongs to. For example, if I say I am in my teens, which means I am 13 to 19 years old, I am in my 20s, I am in my 30s, आई एम इन माई टीन्स इट मीन्स कि जो मेरी एज है वो 13 से 19 में के बीच में कहीं लाई करती है 20s यानी कि 20 से 29 के बीच में मेरी एज कहीं लाई करती है फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाउ ओल्ड आर यू आई एम 24 सिंस 24 falls between 20 and 29 you can also say I am in my 20s. Comparing ages. Now let's learn how to compare ages. We compare ages to tell who is older and who is younger. For example, I am older than my brother. मैं अपने भाई से बड़ी हूँ. I am younger than my sister. मैं अपनी बहन से छोटी हूँ. He is 2 years older than me. वो मुझसे 2 साल बड़ा है. She is 3 years younger than me. वो मुझसे 3 साल छोटी है. We are the same age. हम दोनों की age same है. Now, if you want to ask questions, you can say who is older, who is younger, कौन बड़ा है, कौन छोटा है तुम में से. Are you the same age? क्या तुम दोनों की age same है? How much older is he? How much younger is she? So remember the difference that life stages tells us the different periods of life. Baby, then a child becomes teenager, then adult, then senior citizen. Age groups tells us the age range. Teens, 20s, 30s, 40s and so on. Comparing ages helps us compare two people by saying older, younger, or the same age. That's it for today's lesson. This was part 2 of our A1 Roadmap vocabulary series. In today's video, we learned how to introduce yourself, ask someone's name, respond after introductions using phrases like nice to meet you, ask and answer questions about where someone is from, their nationality, and their age. These are some of the most common expressions you will use in everyday English conversations. Now, don't just watch this video and move on. Please write these expressions in your notebook, revise them, and most importantly, try using them in your own conversations. In the next video, we'll learn the remaining topics such as talking about jobs and professions, talking about studies, talking about languages, talking about hobbies and interests, and how to end a conversation naturally. We're gonna make this English learning process step by step because a strong foundation always makes advanced English much easier. Okay, so if you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's also learning English. I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep learning and keep practicing.